Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we are taking another look at XRP to see what's been going on most recently with the price action here. Now as I get into the video, if you do find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, why not go ahead and check it out. Links in the description down below. Fantastic Cheeky Crypto community talking crypto 24/7 down in Discord. We do a lot more technical analysis. We do AMAs. We talk to just pretty much everyone down in Discord and every single day. So why not go ahead and check it out? And I don't think you'll be disappointed. Right, let's dive right down into XRP here and see what's going on with the price action. So we're just paired up with USDT on Binance, the hourly chart to start with. As we said yesterday, we were expecting a pullback. We can see the ABC correction there. And we also followed up with another additional corrective move upwards. Okay, and I do want to kind of just highlight what these ABC moves actually represent. People articulate them slightly differently, right? So ABCs are technically corrective moves, and what we mean by corrective moves is short term. They're not trend-based moves, right? An impulsive move is a trend-based move, and they consist of 5 waves: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, for example. But an ABC is just corrective, okay? So when we say ABC, we've basically had a short-term move down and a short-term move up. And of course, when you have an ABC down, it's always going to be followed by an ABC up or an impulsive move up, right? They alternate their positions. So if you have a move down, there's going to be a move up, right? And this helps us predict the market. So what we've got to do is we're going to take a look at the next set here, right? So we've pulled back down. You can see there's a kind of a flash. We don't have to worry about all of the candles specifically, because I do think this is actually a larger ABC corrective move, right? So sometimes you see people that they want to count every single candle, and which will be A, B, and C like that, but it's not overly useful. Instead, what we want to do is we want to take a look at the bigger picture, which would be a move to the downside like so. Now, obviously, Fibonacci, retracement tools, and Elliott wave theory, they resonate incredibly well together. So you can couple these things and you can get a good idea as to what is going on. So when we measure a 1-to-1 ratio with our A wave and our C wave, we can see XRP has the potential to come down in this move to about 77.5, but there is support and right in here, right? So we can actually see there's a couple of levels of support here, about 77.9 and 77.7. So it's possible that you don't go down for the full 1-to-1 ratio and you actually bounce from the 786, and that 786 would be 77.9. So I think that's the highest probable area that we're likely to see here for XRP. And this is based on a couple of things. One, the stochastic RSI on this hourly chart is already low. So if we come down into this range here, this would actually be a really good, strong support level with less momentum to take us down any lower, and we should end up with a reversal, that reversal being ABC, obviously. Right, so on this hourly chart, that's kind of what we're looking at. We're looking at probably the next couple of hours, maybe even by the time this video has gone live, we've already hit 77.9, and then we're looking to track up, right, and then it'll be an ABC. So when we come to the 4-hourly chart, this is where the concerns come in. We obviously have a stochastic RSI that needs to drop down lower, right? The 4-hourly momentum indicator is saying that we should see more downside before we see an upside move, right? So this could be that we end up with a really small ABC up to wipe out the stochastic RSI from oversold to overbought on our hourly chart. So we'll just pull that over here for a second. So it might be a really small ABC move after this that takes our stochastic RSI from oversold to overbought, and then allows us to go down even deeper to correct our 4-hourly stochastic RSI. Alternatively, the 4-hour stochastic RSI could move rapidly, right? It could just continue to drop down very, very fast on this correction and becomes oversold as well. Okay, so it's always good to keep an eye on the momentum of the price movements, and that's what the stochastic RSI is doing. It's super sensitive to price movements. And the 8-hour is also overbought, so there's going to be some kind of corrective pattern here that has to play out in order for us to see, some kind of oversold status on this 8-hourly chart, right? So we should be thinking corrective pattern is likely, it's highly probable, okay? Now, when we take a look at the entire structure here, there's not too much about this 8-hourly chart that I can really talk about, but it does become very apparent when we take a look at it from our daily perspective. Now, if I zoom on out of here, you can, of course, see the, this triangular wedge that we're in. It's not an Elliott wave triangular wedge or anything like that, but it's a continuation pattern to a point. And this could be, what I've been talking about for a while in terms of XRP way back in 2020 on that lawsuit is this could be an entire A wave up. This could be our B wave triangular wedge, and then we go up into a C wave much, much higher. And again, you would take a 1-to-1 ratio on that. So we'd grab hold of the fib, we take it from the high point down to the low point, we transpose that over to the lowest point that we've had on XRP, and then you can see that this might quite comfortably move us out towards that level that I've actually got marked up here about 1,700%. It's a $10 XRP, right, on a 1-to-1 ratio. We should also acknowledge, though, that there's going to be resistance on that journey to the upside. Right? It's not going to be a smooth motion. We also saw here an ABC move. So this triangular continuation pattern is a continuation of the trend that led in. Okay, so really important that we understand that it's corrective in its nature. It's not an Elliott wave triangle. It doesn't really meet the rules for that. So if we were to take a look at it, we're not meeting the rules, and the reason that we're not meeting the rules is right here. If I can actually draw an arrow, which I can't seem to ever get that right, but this particular set of waves right in the middle basically invalidate it being an Elliott wave triangle. But what it is doing is basically we've got a descending trend line, we've got an ascending trend line, and we're getting into a tight wedge here, right? So eventually we're going to get a breakout, and I think the breakout will come once we have clarity, which will come at the end of that lawsuit, one way or another. Whether that is going to be a win for Ripple, a win for the SEC, or settlement between the two, it doesn't matter, because you're going to end up with clarity at the end of it, right? The SEC are going to have to acknowledge that XRP is either a security currently, or it is not a security currently, right? That's going to be the nuts and bolts of it. And as a result, ultimately, people don't care whether it's a security or not, as long as they're able to abide by the right laws of the country that they reside in, so that they can, act accordingly, right? And that's where the fair notice defense really does come in, and where ultimately I see this being ending in settlement, because it's too risky for the SEC to lose. That would basically really hurt them suing additional cryptocurrency firms. So I think the SEC, the fact that fair notice defense, or the dismissal of the fair notice defense, was denied, ultimately means that the SEC are now going to be heavily encouraged to basically settle, because if they don't settle and they lose, that's going to be really bad for the SEC. Likewise, I don't really think it matters too much. I think we are going to be moving on out of this once we get closure, once we get clarity, but do expect some volatility. And that's what I want to talk about on this chart, right? So as we can see, we could potentially test that higher bound again around that $4. It's a possibility that we do that, and then we come all the way back down to this low range. And I spoke about this yesterday, right? It's possible that we come all the way down into like low 55s, maybe 57 cent, as we start to think about another corrective move come down. Now, this particular corrective move might be much, much shorter. It all depends on the climate at the time, but it might be only halfway down here. There's no need to test that lower level. But there will be a need to see the corrective action in order to allow us to get the momentum back in XRP to have this fantastic rally, right? And because when we take a look at the stochastic RSI on this daily chart, we're heading up into the overbought area, right? So we can continue this run up a little bit, but eventually when we get up here, we're going to have that crash, and I have to have that pull back down in order for us to continue. Now, the same thing is going on here on the weekly, right? We've moved that weekly stochastic RSI far too high. It needs to come down, and the only way that's going to come down is by having some kind of corrective action here. So whatever the catalyst is going to be for that, I do not know. It might just be a slow and steady trading activity where it pulls back down. Something fundamentally with the Ripple and SEC law case, might happen to help that aid it come back down. But I do think it's an inevitability. We are going to have some kind of corrective action, whether it's quick or not. But it is going to have to come in order to get the momentum down low enough to have this rally that I think is going to come later in the year, where we talk about $10 XRP, for example. So really good stuff, I think, on the long-term horizon. The medium-term horizon, we are looking for corrective action, and on the shorter time frames, I do think we're going to be pushing on up. So actually, we've got a bit of a mixed bag here for XRP. Short term, we're looking pretty good for some gains. Medium term, we should be thinking potentially, we're going to see a significant drop in XRP price. And then long-term, an absolutely fantastic FOMO rally, taking us up to some crazy, crazy numbers. But guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.